If you're an educator that uses Microbit,
here are 7 practical tips for teachers using Microbit in the classroom this back-to-school season.
Tip number 1 is to make sure that you have an efficient way to store your microbits. You can also add a little number on the backside here to keep track of them all. Another cool option for storage are these 3D printed microbit slots. You can find this file online, print it out on your 3D printer, and then putting all the microbits in the slot makes it really easy to tell when you're missing one. Our second tip related to storage is to have somewhere else where you can store some spare USBs. You'll just want to make sure that these USBs are capable of data transfer and not just charging. Tip number 3 is to make sure that you have some USB-A to USB Type-C adapters. This will be critical if you have a newer computer or MacBook, otherwise you won't be able to use the micro USB cable. If this setup looks familiar to you, disposable batteries with the battery box that gets attached and then dangles from the Microbit, you are going to like this tip. Instead of having to purchase disposable batteries all the time, why don't you just use a rechargeable option? This is the Charge for Microbit. It is a rechargeable power pack for the Microbit that is equipped with a wrist strap, so it makes it much easier for any projects that involve strapping the Microbit to your wrist. And best of all, you can use the same micro USB cable to charge that power pack. Another rechargeable option is the breakout board in the Climate Action Kit. It is equipped with a rechargeable battery, so even if you're not doing Climate Action Kit projects, you can still utilize the board as a rechargeable source of power. Tip number 5 is related to issues pairing your Microbit in your browser. Of course, you'll want to go through and follow the steps on screen to pair your Microbit, but in case this isn't working, here are a few tips. Our first tip is to make sure that you unplug the Microbit from the micro USB and turn it off from power. Give it a second and then plug it back in and repeat that pairing process. If that still doesn't work, you can try manually removing the USB device from the browser. Click the X to delete all of the devices in the browser. That will force you to reload the page. Once it reloads, you can try pairing the Microbit again, and hopefully that works. Tip number 6 is to utilize the virtual simulator in MakeCode. This is a really great way for students to test out their code using the interactive simulator to make sure everything works, even if they don't have a physical Microbit with them. Tip number 7 is something we get asked about all the time, and that is how to reload the starter code onto your Microbit. So to do this, you'll want to go to the Microbit website, go to Getting Started, User Guide, and then find that button to download the Meet the Microbit hex file. From here, you can click and drag that onto the Microbit, and then the next time that a student powers up that Microbit, it will run that Meet the Microbit starter code, which, although it plays noise and maybe is slightly annoying, it is a great way for students to understand all the different capabilities of the Microbit. This last tip is a bonus for teachers. If you are flashing multiple Microbits at once, we recommend using the hex file download method. This will allow you to click and drag that file onto multiple USB devices connected to your computer at once. We find this method much faster than pairing.